Hi, I'm Eric Summerer, and here's what's coming from the Dice Tower this week.
Hey, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the news for June 11th to the 17th, 2012. Let's start with a look at the board gaming world. First of all, we find that Jolly Roger has announced that they're going to be reprinting Kremlin. Now, Kremlin is a very old game from Avalon Hill, which is showing its signs of age. We'll have to see. I'm not convinced that Jolly Roger is going to do a lot of overhaul. The system does need quite a bit. We'll have to wait and see, but it is a great game. Days of Wonder has announced a new expansion for Memoir 44. Well, that's the same as always, you say, but no, look at this one. Full of hundreds of plastic pieces. A lot of these pieces have been seen in different scenarios like the Tiger Tanks and such, so this is going to be great and exciting. Asmodee is coming out with a new bluffing party game where you need to know famous people. In fact, the game is called Fame Us. Yeah. Okay, Nightfall expansion. Crimson Surge is coming out, but to have this expansion, you need one of the other expansions. So this is another expansion to expansion. I told you this was going to happen. Now this is interesting news. Hans im Glück, a company from Germany, most of their games have been currently printed by Rio Grande Games, but Rio Grande just announced that they will no longer be doing this, and Z-Man announced that they will be doing this. Now, how does that affect you? Well, I'm just curious to see how this works, because if you had asked me, Rio Grande's biggest game for a long time before Dominion was Carcassonne, which is from Hans im Glück. Carcassonne from Z-Man Games? Is that what's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. There's a bunch of new games that have come out this week. Real quickly, Infiltration, Dominion base cards, Dixit Journey, Tournay, Fortress America. Woo! So go check those out. Mayfair has announced the 4th edition reprint of A House Divided. Now, this is a light war game about the Civil War, the American Civil War, and it is one that I'm not a war gamer, but I saw that it was a very good game system when I played it. And finally, the Diana Jones Awards nominees have been announced. Now, I don't really understand. They pick things from gaming that are good, but they can have a person against a game versus idea. This year, they have 3 RPGs, Burning Wheel, Gold Nordic Leap, and Varnhound. But what's the interesting thing is they have Risk Legacy, because of the innovation that it brought to the gaming genre, and then crowdfunding, Kickstarter in particular. I'm going to guess that that's what's going to be the winner, but hey, what do I know? In the Dice Tower podcasting world, we have several new podcasts. How to Play Jay is out, where Ryan talks about his top 50 green circle games, which is yet another ridiculous term he has come up with. In essence, basically, he's talking about easy to play, simple games. Ludology, number 34, has come out, in which they talk about randomization. Does it work in games? How much randomization is too much? Etc. Little Metal Dog, number 41, came out, where he went over the UK Games Expo 2012 with special guest Steve Jackson. This is not Steve Jackson from Steve Jackson Games, and Ian Livingston, but two very guys involved in the Games Workshop universe, where they talk about their top 10 games of all time. Plaid Hat, number 48. Hey, they're almost to 50. They talk about what drives them to design games. And then, of course, Dice Tower 260 is coming out, in which we talk about different games, and apparently we talk a lot about trading in the Mediterranean games, and we also have something about Origins got involved there. Speaking of Origins, was it a bust? We've got a whole lot of reports from a lot of different people that have said that the attendance was down 20, 30%. So we don't know what the exact numbers are, but people have said that it was a smaller convention than in previous years. Now, is that a bad thing? Can it rebound? Was it because of the date change? No one can tell these things, but it should be interesting to see what they do. But we're here to talk about board games, so let's talk about some of the videos that you'll see from the Dice Tower this week. You'll see me doing a review of Undermining, Goldenaire, The Scrambled States of America, Race for the Galaxy, that's kind of an older one, come back, Rory Story Cubes, and I'll be doing 2 different reviews of 1989, one for those who've never played Twilight Struggle, and this is a new game for them, and another one for people who have played Twilight Struggle, kind of a comparison. Chief is going to be doing a review of Power and Glory, And Ryan will be taking a look at both Igloo Pop and Fitz. I'd like to apologize for not having any video last week. In fact, almost no videos at all. And that was because we were in a transitional phase. I was a school teacher, a math school teacher, and that was our last week of the year. And also I was fixing up my office here because I will now be doing the Dice Tower pretty much full time. I'm also the youth pastor at my local church. And so there's that. And so the good news for that is that you're going to see a lot of changes, a lot of hopefully positive changes. We have a weekly audio newscast coming up. The Dice Steeple will be going, and then my new Showdown podcast will hopefully, both of those will all get started in close to the beginning of July. And hopefully you'll see a lot more reviews. One of the things is Dice Tower News is going to be disappearing in a sense, or at least forwarding to Game Salute News, because I will now be the chief news editor over there at Game Salute News. In fact, most of the news that you just saw came from there. And so you're going to see, hopefully, the best source of board game and card game news on the internet in one spot. And so this is going to be interesting. We'll see how long this can last. I hope it will be a lot of fun for everyone involved, and hopefully my output will get better as time goes by and you'll see some quality. You can always donate to the Dice Tower, and we'll have a link in the show in this description if you'd like to, but we give gifts to those who do dice. We have cards from Eminent Domain, thanks to Tasty Minstrel, for Summoner Wars, promo cards for Revolver, Panic Station, and Lost Temple, all that from Stronghold Games. And for the first 10 people who get any of those promos, after watching this video, I also have a card for Quarriors, Quarmageddon, a promo card for that, so I'll send that out. Just mention that when you email me. Well, folks, lots of news. I'm so excited. What's coming out this week, we'll have to wait and see. But until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Find all this and more at Dicetower.com. See you soon.